Cool. Welcome to a new episode of We're Not Afraid of the Dark. We're on the tail of the Silver Serpent. We were going to record this the last session. We usually do 3 at a time. And by the 4th one, we're really drunk. We tried to do it last time on live stream. There's way too many technical issues happening, so we decided to just do it this next time.
I hate live streaming anyway.
I like it.
I don't.
Makes it fun. Yeah, we'll do Instagram live at some point in time. I didn't remember this episode at all, by the way.
Really?
None of it. I think I remembered the part of the dugout, but the name, the plot, I just couldn't remember it all.
I did remember this one. Just the scarecrow or the silent servant. He's pretty memorable, actually.
I was gonna say, I feel like they did a good job on the scarecrow. He was definitely believably creepy.
The episode starts out with Betty Yed apparently was at the movies with Frank. I thought there was something happening between them at first, but it turns out that Kiki was the third wheel.
I guess Betty Ann was the third wheel.
And they're arguing with something about sneaking into a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam, let me get your shot glass.
Why? I'm still got a full one.
You said shots, not sips.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some little sips of these. Now, Tucker had a good line here. He says, I hope this is about your story. And I was thinking, like, no fucking shit. Like, every single episode of the show starts out with them arguing about something. Something happened at school. Something happens in their personal life. Something happens at home. And it always affects their story. So I'm thinking that the Midnight Society's improvs a lot of this. They don't have, like, a collection of stories just at their disposal anytime.
See, I don't even remember Tucker saying anything, so I'm glad you caught that.
She says that silence is power. It can be a blessing, and then welcome a moment of peace, or it can be evil. I'm trying to think what she meant by that. But the trick is to know when to welcome it, because you can be very afraid. Then we're transported to this scene where I thought this guy was getting knocked out at first. But there's a guy like sleeping in some hay with a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah, it looked like the one from Adam's Family.
It did.
Yeah, I thought that was a finger trap the entire fucking episode, by the way, to the end.
It was getting closer to the end by the time I realized that's not what it was.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna call it a finger trap to make my life easier in this episode. He's arguing with this farmer guy and says about being attacked, and he's speaking some language there, which apparently didn't work. Want me for this, Ben?
Well, I mean, this scene, it happened so fast that like I didn't actually write any notes for it. To be honest, I have one fucking note for this. Like this episode, I enjoyed it. I didn't really have any problems with it. The only one problem that I wrote down. But I mean, yeah, the silent servant is this scarecrow, and it follows the commands of its master. And this scene in the very beginning, the master, well, I guess it attacked like what was he, a field hand? He was like some kind of helper for the
He's a servant. He just doesn't.
no
He's
no
not silent, right?
I don't think he's a servant. Here it is. It's like the 90s. They don't have servants anymore. But like this dude worked on the farm.
He's a farmhand.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said field hand.
Okay.
Farmhand, field hand. But yeah, so I guess the silent servant attacked him, and the master like told the scarecrow to like go in this like storage closet type of thing. And yeah, so I mean that's really all it was.
Yeah, well, and then we're transported. It says 20 years later. So I was doing my math here. This thing's taking place in present time, which is 1994 at that point. So this is taking place in the 70s.
Yeah.
Although I couldn't really tell because farmers like haven't changed their fashion in like 100 years, it seems.
Right.
The only thing that changed is technology. I've been doing a lot of historical research lately, and I didn't realize like the amount of injuries that actually happened on farms back in the day. Like it wasn't uncommon for people like have like fingers missing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty rough back then. We then
before
meet
OSHA.
yeah, before OSHA, before those damn child labor laws, you know, that good stuff. In present day, we meet Jared Connor, who's visiting his cousin Ann. They say all he wants to do is play baseball, but the cousin kind of sucks at it because he's like throw the ball, so like not make an effort to go.
Yeah. And see, this is the one thing I have written down. The boy, what's the boy's name again?
Jared.
Jared. Okay. Uh, he tells Ann to like go long because he's gonna throw this baseball, and he throws it. He throws it over her and breaks the front door
the
glass.
front door.
Yeah, the glass in the front door, and then the uncle, Ann's dad, comes out and blames her for it.
Yeah, I got on that, but I was also wondering, like, even at his age, which I'm assuming he's probably between the 11 and 13 years old. At that age, like, I remember when me and Ben played in the yard, like, we knew better than fucking throw the ball in the direction of where the house was. We were always lined up, like, parallel to it, if you want to say that. So we were never, like, say, go long, there's a house, like, I don't know, 50 feet behind her.
Yeah. And besides, we played wiffle ball. We didn't play baseball.
Although, I was also thinking about this when that glass door gets broken. Like, that uncle was really quick to pick up that baseball and walk out the door. I mean, it's not like 5 seconds later where he's just like, oh.
And he's so calm about it. He was so calm about it. Like, oh, man, Dad would have flipped out.
Well, who I'm assuming, I think it's Ann's brother and the uncle's son. It's Mark, his name, the older brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he confiscates their gloves so they can't play catch anymore. And says they're going to be put to work so they can pay off the glass door, which means taking beans down the road to a neighbor, like it's, I don't know, 1600 or something like that.
So,
And my other favorite is they have to help build the fence to keep the deer out. And we need to mention this. It's well established in this podcast that we live in Maryland. We see deer.
Oh, they hang out
every
in
day.
our yard.
Yeah.
Every day. Have you ever heard of someone putting up a fence to get rid of deer?
dude, I hit a deer on the way when I was still working at the prison. I hit a deer, and his punk ass jumped over an electric fence.
Yeah,
a fence ain't gonna hold.
Yeah, I have that in my show notes for later on because that fence they built is like 3 feet big. I was like, a deer's gonna easily jump over that shit.
Yeah.
Do they have deer in Canada? But then there's another part in this episode.
It's like moose up there.
Yeah, or those giant elk. Our Canadian listeners or viewers, please help us out with this.
Straight.
I haven't seen a moose or an elk in person, except for at the Elks Lodge where they have one of those giant taxidermy elks.
Yeah, it's just the head though.
And we don't have those things here in Maryland, except for I think you have to go to the mountains of Maryland, which is Appalachians, like western part, but that's like a good 4 hours from where we
Let me
live.
get one of those easy apples. I've never had one.
They're drinking some stuff.
Sound like us.
No.
They go. Why they go to that? They go to the shed because that's where the beans are, or something like that, right? Or that's where the burn supplies are to build this fence. Because there's a family cemetery right out by it, and he's checking out this tombstone.
No. They were weren't they trying to deliver them or something? And then because this where they find the silent servant.
He's in the barn.
Yeah, but it's not on their property. It's on somebody else's.
Oh, it's not.
No, because
Okay.
the owner of the silent servant is dead, so it's not going to be at their house.
Yeah, they see his grave, and it says 1974 on the grave, and it does have the dragon thing that the Chinese finger trap basically looks like.
Yeah.
On the tomb. Well, I like Jared's expression here when they go inside this bar because he's like, "Oh, we could build a dugout out of these boards." Like, yeah, me and Ben play wiffle ball and baseball with kids in the neighborhood, but I don't think we ever talked about building a whole fucking dugout.
We built a treehouse instead.
Yeah, we're building treehouse and shit. Like, to use a dugout.
Especially since it wasn't even his neighborhood.
Yeah, I think.
Who was he playing with?
Well, yeah, I can't remember having like large, like full team baseball with us, Ben. I think we had like at most like 7 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But if we had a large team, all we did was just go down to the fucking high school and play in the field there. Like, no one's going to say anything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the scarecrow falls down, and they get the brilliant idea to put. Sorry, I love this because we're a rural area of Maryland. To put the fucking scarecrow up to scare the deer away. which we know doesn't work. She's Anne says the same thing. It works for crows and not that. But
Yeah,
Jared's trying to get out of building this damn fence. They find the finger trap.
yeah, but that's when what
Crazy George is his name.
Crazy George.
And this guy loved playing this character. He was having fun.
He looked like Mugatu from Zoolander.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
good reference.
but but yeah, like he's just talking craziness, like the silent servant and all this stuff. Like if he knew where this thing was the whole time, like the actual scarecrow or whatever, why didn't he do something with it?
Oh, we haven't brought up the actors yet, by the way. This actor playing Crazy George, I believe, is on some other episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I believe it. I mean,
Oh no, that's the only one. He has some acting credits. Like he was in Kung Fu, he was in Cinderella Man, Saw 2. He's one of the extra voices on there. I forgot to tell you some other good news, Ben. So the girl playing Anne is on Mr. Skin. Although the movie is for like National Lampoon's Across the Distance or something like that.
Oh, so she was like naked with like a ton of other people,
Yeah,
like
it's
in
probably
one scene.
Yeah, it's probably like a really short breast flash or something like
Oh,
that.
well, she developed pretty well.
Where is this? I just I had this important show note in here.
That she was in National Lampoon's Naked Mile.
Yeah. Oh, Going the Distance. That's the one. Although this is one of those like straight to DVD National Lampoon's movies of the mid 2000s, late 2000s, and I was just telling Kayla the other day, like I was in the mood to watch some raunchy ass 80s and 90s sex comedy films. And she was talking about at least like romantic comedies. I think like she's all that was on there. I was like, no, we need to go like full on total breast, tort humor. One of my favorites is that Alpha House movie where like they're making fun of these frat guys at the movie of the sorority, and there's this like condom full of cum on some of his bestie. I just stripping down. Shut that.
You needed Van Wilder.
Yeah, I did you watch Van Wilder too?
I believe so.
Is that where he's young?
Yeah, it's a.
I didn't watch that
I
one.
think it's a pretty cool. Yeah, I can't remember it all. Like I remember Van Wilder watching it for the first time, but some of these
Oh, I
sequels are so
loved that
disposable.
movie.
That may be our next project, Ben. We're gonna make we gotta write a script and film a sex comedy with some people. We just should recruit some college students.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I think that's kind of a lost thing though. Like I don't see a lot of raunchy sex films anymore. It's just like these watered down PG-13 horror films.
That's because you can't get away with anything actually funny anymore.
Mm.
It's too
you got worried about being
offensive.
offensive and shit.
Mm.
Do you think Harold Kumar Goes to White Castle would be released nowadays? By the way,
No,
No.
And the thing is, like,
especially not the Guantanamo Bay one.
oh yeah, definitely not that one. And I actually wasn't too much of a fan of that one. I tried watching it a few months ago. I got
I
like
love it.
15 minutes and I was done. Usually with a comedy, if I don't laugh with the first 15 minutes, I'm done with it.
Oh, you needed to give it a few more minutes.
But see, when you watch a movie with Adam and it's a comedy, he actively tries not to laugh. Like it's terrible.
The best we did with that was when me and Ben watched World Police Team America, because I saw it in theaters before I think you watched it, and in the first like 2 minutes when that little French kid buffs into 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
he busts out laughing. I was trying to think what the other one was. There was this one movie I got to like seriously the last 10 minutes and just fucking burst out laughing. I should have better notes.
So, all right, where are we at with this right now?
They got the Chinese finger
they got the
trap.
Chinese
He
finger trap.
opens it and does one of those classic things where he has to read the script he just got.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they took it home. They took it home and they read it. To be honest, I didn't know that they took. I didn't remember that they took the scarecrow already.
Oh yeah, they're putting that
So-
thing in use already.
Yeah, so they open it up and there's this compartment inside of it, or a scroll comes out and he reads it. And Anne's like, just stop, and he's like reading like Latin and all this other shit, like that. No problem. Reading fucking Latin.
yeah, I mean, I know that one.
But then he doesn't make any wishes yet, does he?
No, but they're mentioning here that Who's the person who tells him Earlstat? Because that was the name of the farmer. They say he raised him to be clever. The power was between the dragons and couldn't stop the silver servant. Only the master could break the spell, but he's dead.
That might have been Crazy George.
All right, so he says that in the barn, right?
Crazy George might have said that
Yeah, got it.
because he's the only one that would know.
All right, yeah. Now put my notes here. Why is this idiot reading this shit out loud? Like, why would he just internally read
Read it to himself.
Yeah, then if it's important, bring it up. But yeah, back at the house, there's thunder starting, and he says he wants his gloves back. They're
Well-
sitting kind of weirdly close. Also, I thought that was a little too close for cousins of the
Cousins.
opposite sex to be sitting next to each other.
Maybe they live in West Virginia.
Yeah, no offense to our West Virginia listeners. Ashley, you gotta be all this disclaimers for us every time we have a possibly offensive thing in this podcast. Just let us
I
know.
co-sign that.
All right. They're asked to take out the garbage, and that's when the scarecrow's like right behind them. It's off the post outside of the.
Right. Yeah.
Back from commercial break. Matt's back from baseball. It looks like.
Mark. Matt.
Yeah, Mark.
Fuck it. Whatever. Cousin. Other cousin.
Oh, I laughed here also. The glass of the door is still broken, like the same way it was. Like no one bothered to
Put plywood over it or anything.
Yeah, or maybe get the glass off the fucking floor so no one cuts himself.
Yeah, so the scarecrow moved and they're screaming and shit. And then Mark is like, oh, well, maybe Uncle Phil. That's not moved it or whatever because it was knocked down when he came to it. It wasn't standing up anymore.
Yeah, and they say the beans were delivered and they had the fence all ready to go. And
yeah, that's the
same scene.
That was the wish.
Yeah, that the servant's gonna build this magical fence out of nowhere.
No. It's not the fence.
There's fence.
No,
the servant built the fence.
he did, but not yet.
Okay.
Because he says, I got the glass to fix the door and we'll do it tomorrow. And he says, I don't want to do the glass tomorrow. And he's like, that's when he kicks the scarecrow. He's like, fix the glass door and deliver the beans while you're at it. And then the next morning, the glass is fixed and the beans are delivered. And that's when the cousin comes by and is like, oh no, the uncle comes by and he's like, oh, thanks for delivering the beans. And I guess, Mark took pity on you guys and fixed the glass while you guys were asleep.
The next episode, I'm gonna have Ben just guide the whole thing.
And like I said, I only have one line for this.
For this episode, though, I watched this last night at like 4 o'clock. I wasn't overly drunk.
Oh, well, see, we watched it before we came here today.
Okay. You're a little more fresh today. All right, so he gets to the point where he asks to go to a shop to get baseball cards. And there's a dugout waiting for him there. That's where the boards come from. Mark yells at him that the fence is broke to shit.
It's hard drinking out of this horn sometimes.
Where's this horn thing, man?
I just got it all over me.
All right.
Got it from Ale Horn. They sent it to me because thinking about using them for groomsmen gifts. Spoiler alert, since you're my best man.
I just found out this day, by the way.
Well, you're my brother, so kind of
a
shoe-in.
Although if Ashley weren't in the room right now, I would seriously, on the podcast, discuss some ideas for a bachelor party. I will tell you, well, since I'm not engaged to marry right now, I can tell you right now, Ben, at my bachelor party, if it ever happens, I want some midget strippers.
I mean, we're in Maryland. We got to go somewhere for that.
I want some guys to admit their sins, and there's punishments like staples on people.
What?
Like I want a magician.
You want to?
I want a ventriloquist. I want some really freaky shit that I don't see else.
Ventriloquists freak me out.
Well, keep in mind, I DJ for a living, so I'm in clubs all the fucking time. I don't need to go to a club.
How about like the donkey party from like Clerks 2?
Yes,
I
he
like
needs a
Clerks, though.
donkey show.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that was.
Kinky Kelly.
But please, midget strippers. Oh yeah, we can't use that word on here anymore.
Little people.
No. All right.
I feel like little people's more offensive than midget.
Yeah.
Like they're less of a person because they're smaller.
Jarrett notices that, or Mark doesn't believe the scarecrow story to begin with. Jarrett says his glove's missing. Mark's after that at a says Mark must have taken it,
Mm,
and he wants to kill whoever
mm,
did.
mm, 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 Nope,
What's going on?
you're skipping.
All right.
You're skipping. He did all right. So the kid doesn't believe it, and then they're out. They're out there working on the fence for the deer, and then he's like, "Oh well, we'll finish tomorrow." And he's like, "Man, I really don't want to do this tomorrow." So he tells the scarecrow, commands him, finish the fence. Right? Finish the fence, and the next day it's finished. So that's when he knows like it's real. The silent servant does this shit. And he tells him to build that dugout. And then the silent servant takes the wood, and like all this shit is happening off screen. Like you never see the silent servant move.
Until later.
Well, yeah, until later. And he takes the fucking wood from the fence and makes the dugout. So then that's when he gets in trouble and they get grounded. But Mark comes in and gives them their baseball gloves. However, since it was in the tractor, he gave them the wrong bag and there was tractor parts in it.
In other news, 2 baseball gloves are the same weight as tractor parts.
Who knew that?
And all
Yeah.
the same kind of clanging.
Yeah. So that's when the kid is like, whoever took my glove, I want to kill whoever did it. And Anne looks
the silent servant's like, I'm on this shit right
yeah,
now.
Anne looks at him
It's
like,
like you don't say.
Anne looks at him like, shit, you shouldn't have said that. They look outside, silent servant's gone. And now we are up to where you are.
All right, so we're actually at my favorite part of this episode because they go to find Mark to save him. And it's like, I know where he is. And we get this classic, like, 90s teenager party at the fucking farm style of scene.
Okay.
Which I was laughing at.
See,
Dazed and
but
confused.
Adam, how many of those did you go to in high school?
0.
You didn't go to any farm like field parties?
No, I wasn't like that because I didn't drink in high school.
I did.
Yeah, so like some people would get 6-packs and ride the back roads or farms, but I remember
we did that.
Well, when I turned 16 and 17, our big thing in a small town was just going in a parking lot
and driving a circle.
Yeah, well, people would just meet up in a parking lot, like at a hardware store or a grocery store or something like that, and just everybody park their cars there and then get out and talk to each other. This is pre-Facebook, by the way. I don't think these teens do this anymore.
Well, they still do, but I was never part of that crew of like, oh, waste our gas driving a circle, and then people are parked in one spot.
We're Sally driving, so
we wave at them when they're going by. Like I was never part of that. Like if I'm gonna waste my gas, I'm gonna drive 45 minutes and go see a movie, or I'm gonna go to a party and get drunk, and then drive home.
Best safe. Although I think the worst one you ever told me, and I think we can talk about this now because this is probably 13 years ago when you're like 17, was when you played that game where you turned the lights off while you're driving.
Oh, yeah. We did that in the Firebird. But see, the Firebird was made of metal. It was an 87 Firebird. It used to be your car.
That's my first cars.
Yeah.
I had that for about a year or so, I think.
But see, let me tell you, man, that thing was a fucking tank. I backed into a tree one time, right? Backed into a tree one time with that bitch. And I was freaking out the whole way home. Like, man, fuck, I don't even want to look at it. And my buddy's calling me up, dude, just come back. No, fuck that shit. I'm going home. And I get in the parking lot, like our driveway. And I'm like, oh fuck, just stay on the phone with me. Let me look at this. I look at the back. Nothing's wrong with it.
As opposed to my car, I bought my car in 2007. 2 weeks later, the dogs, as I'm backing up right there, so I swerve, I hit one of the trees in the back, the fucking tail light bust. It's still broken if you look at my car. There's still a dent there because I never got it fixed. And I've had that car for 11 years.
Well, Grandma, when she was still alive, before we took her keys, I was parked next to her and she was backing out and she hit the Firebird. right? She hit the
Uh-huh.
Firebird, backed right into it.
I've never heard this story before.
Really? Well, yeah, she backs into it, and then, like, I woke up, I came downstairs or whatever, like, hours later, and mom's like, "Grandma wants to talk to you, she's really upset," and I'm like, "Oh, alright," I went down there, "What's wrong?" And she's just like, "I hit your car,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, like, I'll pay for it, like, I'll pay to fix it and all that stuff." I looked out there, like, went out there, dude, there were 3 little scratches of, like, paint transfer came right off with my finger. Her shit was fucked up. And I'm like, "Grandma, I'm good. Just fix yours." But yeah. Oh man, it was fucking bad. Her shit was all fucked up.
Yeah, this is a prime example of how cars were better back in the day than they are now. 'Cause I think they make cars nowadays to purposely break. Like people make
Oh,
these
yeah.
side mirrors to break on purpose, so you have to go back and pay
Mhm.
like $300 to get that shit repaired. The good old days.
But all right, back to the story.
They're in this field farm, with, like a few dozen teens. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
large group get together, and there's plenty of light in this field. By
Yeah.
the way.
Well, they get there. They get there and they're like, "Mark, you're in danger."
Mhm.
And you know, there were tractor parts in there, in the bag you gave us. And then it clicks. Like if he doesn't have the bag
Yeah,
with the gloves in it, then the bag is still in the fucking tractor. So
yeah,
they went to the wrong place.
yeah. And I was also thinking here that the uncles like pull some massive hours here on this farm.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
start tracking
Yeah.
at night.
That makes more sense to me than how quick the older brother was to hop in the truck and take the kids talking about the killer scarecrow
Yeah,
home.
all this happens pretty quickly.
I couldn't believe that there wasn't a like, "You're full of it, get out of
Well,
here,
they've been telling him
go
that, and he's been
home."
telling them they're full of shit.
Exactly, so
But
now he's like, "Hop in, let's go."
Well, Anne basically takes the control of the situation because his ideas suck.
yes,
The uncle sees the baseball gloves that when the tractor breaks down
yeah,
because he's trying to fix it. They say the true master is dead. And then that scarecrow comes back from the back of the tractor. That was kind of creepy,
Okay.
actually.
I gotta say this with the way the way the scarecrow's made. Like okay, he has a huge ass stick that goes further than his legs because that's how you set up a scarecrow.
Mhm.
But I was like, oh man, they're gonna fucking make this weird with him walking. It wasn't that bad. Like
Yeah, I
the
agree.
way they did it wasn't that bad. They gave him like a little like hobble, but I was like, man, please, like I like this one. I like this one.
He's like, "Don't fuck it up for me
Yeah.
now."
I had a note here, by the way, that the cinematography was amazing. Like the camera angles, like there's this one where the uncle's getting out of the tractor
Mhm.
that's off angle
Yeah, and it's
in
like
this
up.
direction.
Yeah.
And that's something that someone who knows what they're doing does. Because I've seen inexperienced people would film just that you have to film like a square, this whole thing. But in reality, we're looking this way, we're turning our heads. You get that kind of confused angle or some things from the perspective of something. And this had that. Like, there's close up shots of the bikes as they're going down and then zooming up. All that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. And, dude, that fucking scarecrow's face is fucking weird, dude.
I liked it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it too, but
Well, you're supposed to scare things with
It
scarecrows.
wasn't
Right?
Yeah.
too much, it was kinda
Mhm.
blank to
Yeah.
let your imagination.
They get back and they say that the true master has to. So that's Earlstad who's dead. Now they go to break the Chinese finger trap on his tombstone. And I was thinking at first, like, he has the same logo on the
Mhm.
tombstone. I think they should have pushed it in. I think that would have been a little more cool than just break it over top of the actual tombstone.
Mhm.
because they were trying to break it on the table
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
Well, the scarecrow then falls down to nothing, right? It's like smoke come out.
No. Well, he was behind the uncle, and
He just kinda poofed.
when they broke it, he teleported from the uncle to
Oh, that's right.
to in front of them,
Yeah.
and Anne spoke that Latin,
Mhm.
and then that's when he like melted into just a pile of clothes, pretty much. But I mean, that then after that, like they're like, okay, let's go home.
Yeah,
And
the uncle was like, "What's going on? Should do it tomorrow while you rebuild the fence or something."
that was the cousin
All right.
because the uncle's still straight. He's still stranded in the field.
At least he's alive.
Yes,
Well,
but that's when Crazy George finds
And
the broken pieces and
where,
shit.
where was this guy the whole fucking episode? Where's
he
this guy
was
living?
probably in the shed still. That's where he was.
I just thought that last scene was completely unnecessary. They should have just left it at that, a happy ending.
Yeah, but Betty Ann doesn't do that. She does the twist. So the twist is
Right.
Crazy George put
It's
it back
been
together.
lurking the whole time.
Yeah, put the two broken pieces back together, and it's like it looks like it's completely back to normal. But I mean, she always leaves the twist.
Back at the Menace Society, Frank and Kiki whisper to each other, and they go, Betty Ann said, can they go to the movies again? They'll buy the tickets. And Frank insists on picking the flick.
Because he picks good movies.
I want to know why I had zero memory of this episode. Like, this is one of the few episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark in these first few seasons that I really do not remember at all.
I don't know.
I didn't either.
Because I did remember this one.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
Bottle opener.
Anything else, guys?
No, I like this one.
It was pretty good.
Me too. I was surprised that actually. I thought I was going to dislike it at first because the actual start of this episode is a little slow, but it got pretty interesting.
And to
at
be
the end.
honest, for these next three that were this one and the next two,
Mhm.
I liked them all.
Yeah, and I'll agree. I mean, me and Ben had this conversation before we started recording today. I said to Ben, like, this is peak Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like, third season, fourth season, like, they had their shit together. Like, the stories were good. So we're not going to be ripping this show into asshole for some of the episodes in season 1 and 2. That will come later, by the way, in seasons 5 and 6, because there's some shit episodes there.
Yeah, like, I mean, shit. Even like, I'm looking at my notes now. Like, there's little shit, but I mean,
But at least we can entertain people with our personal stories of childhood as some fucked up shit happening now and stuff.
Yep. And wait till Ghastly Grinner.
Well, I just watched that actually before you came over, and that was my first time watching that. I think I watched it like 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, we'll keep it occupied. We have a few things to mention though. Ben, I know we're not on Guess the Grinner now, but please mention this candle you have over here.
Oh, well, I was gonna wait until we got there.
All right. Well, you have some more props with you, right?
Yeah. So I don't know which one I'm gonna do it at this
Yeah,
camera.
Fuji.
Okay, so we got these candles at Horror Decor, right? And we're gonna reach out to them, and like I was saying a couple episodes ago, we want to grow and all that shit. And then when we get our name out there, we're gonna reach out to Horror Decor and see if we can get like promo stuff. But this is Ghastly Goo candle, smells like blueberries. Then we also have
Smells kind of like Kool-Aid.
Zebo cigars. That dummy, that like carnival, like the carnival games, like they would shoot that thing.
Yeah.
It's on our Instagram. It's the picture of Zebo, and he's one of them. That's from Horror Decor. So we've bought a whole bunch of Horror Decor shit already. But if we can get like a partnership with them or like a promo code for like the Are You Afraid of the Dark shit, or like do a giveaway if they gave us some shit and we gave it away to fucking some of our listeners, who knows? That's why we're gonna reach out to them and shit. But their fucking candles smell fantastic, dude.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Yeah, my office now smells like a candy store. Another thing we need to mention, of course, we're going to be mentioning this up until the event happens, and that's that Ben and Ashley are getting married in early May of 2019. So I think we need some props for this wedding and some decor, some fun shit, right, Ashley? Are you just set up like the classical centerpieces and flowers, that kind of deal?
Oh, I mean, it's not gonna be a retro fest. It's gonna be a wedding.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Adam tried going crazy.
He did
Well,
for a second.
we still have a rehearsal dinner, all that shit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can decorate that with retro stuff and promote our podcast that way.
I mean, we can put the stuff on the podcast.
Exactly. Well, thanks again, everybody. We'll see everybody next week for the tale of the room for rent.